Do you ever get fed up tidying up other people's things? I know that this is, like, some stuff here is kind of joint stuff. There's some furniture back here that, yeah, it's joint stuff, but there is nothing, I don't think, that I have put here, and this is just a giant mess. But it's just annoying me and I need to get it done. I need to get it cleared out. So today is the day. Let's go. Hi guys, it's Laura and I help you live a simpler, happier, more spacious life, and that is definitely what I want. A more spacious life, or more specifically, a more spacious garage, because right now, all this stuff behind me is driving me crazy. You may have seen part 1 of my garage declutter. If not, I will link it for you. But today, I gotta clear out all of this, and this is something that I've been putting off for quite a while. It's just stuff on stuff on stuff. We've got layers of stuff here, people. But because I'm really not looking forward to this, I want to get it done as quickly as possible. So I'm gonna try and basically speed through it. I'm gonna get all of this stuff out of my garage. I think this will be like a 2-day job, really, by the time my husband can go through stuff and my daughter comes home from school and, you know, decides what she wants to donate. But I just need to make a start on this. So let's go get it out as quickly as possible. That's job 1. Also, it was really awkward recording out here because I don't know if my neighbours are watching me. They saw me do my last declutter out here and I got questions about it afterwards. Most of them don't actually know what I do for a living, and that's always a fun conversation. Actually, not as bad as I thought it would be. Back here, we just kind of tended to throw things over the bins, dump them in this corner, but I suspect that there's actually a little bit more in there in terms of like lots of small fiddly bits, the things that will take a long time to make decisions on. Like this big piece of furniture, you make one decision, that's it, it clears out a whole lot of space. All of these things, that's what slows me down. That's going to take a while. Random stuff that is just everywhere. Okay, big girl pants pulled up, and let's go. When my husband's office closed last year and they announced everyone would be working from home, he basically just packed up all of the stuff that he had in the office, you know, lots of suits, some pictures and mugs and things like that. And he dropped all of that stuff in the garage instead of dragging it all into the house at the time. And it's just kind of sat there ever since. And honestly, it's a big reason why I want to clear out this space. It just might make an appealing nest for something that I do not want to share a space with. But as usual, I started by removing everything. I really hate doing this, but it does get better results. And people ask me all the time why I kind of go to the extra effort of doing this, you know, that it's very time consuming, but it does get better results, and I have, you know, learned that through lots and lots of experience. And plus I wanted to power wash everything, so yeah, the space needed to be empty. I would really love to repaint the whole space too, like the walls are a little bit scuffed and marked and things, but you know, that's a job for another day. But it's really funny because when I shared the first video, a lot of people recommended that I get a shelving unit to kind of store everything in tubs. But my real goal with this space is not to need any of that stuff. But I was just thinking, it's funny because having a lot of stuff leads to accumulating even more stuff. Like clutter attracts extra clutter. It's more boxes and bags and tubs and totes and shelves and bookcases and things like that. Just clutter creates more clutter. It took less than 10 minutes, but it was a horrible 10 minutes. There was a lot of lawn seed. There was a weed killer that the container had burst, so when I picked it up, it just spilled everywhere all over my hands. I had to go wash them. Just general cobwebs and dirt and debris, and I'm really not happy about it. And I've got a big pile of stuff here, including this soccer ball, which we thought had gone missing, so we went out and bought another one. So just another way that clutter costs you money. Anyway, right now I'm debating whether I should go through this stuff first and kind of put some order on it, or if I should just continue and pull everything out. I think I'm going to continue and pull everything out, because then I'll basically be forced to go through it at the end. If I just go through this stuff, I'm going to get really fed up, and then I'm not going to want to continue with the rest. So yeah, to force myself to finish the job, I'm just going to pull everything out. There are some things like that big piece of furniture at the back that I'm not going to be able to pull out. It's just too heavy, so I'm going to leave that. But once everything's out, I'm hoping to power wash the space and then put the bare minimum of stuff back in. At this stage, I really feel like I've decluttered most areas inside my home. There are still a few spaces that need attention or a bit of tweaking, but this space, this garage, has been largely untouched since we moved into this house, and it's the space that most outsiders see. You know, if our daughter is playing outside, our garage door stays open so that she can grab her bike, her scooter, etc. So this garage is kind of like the window to our home. It's the first impression that a lot of people will get as to kind of what's behind the walls and doors. And while I definitely think you should declutter more for yourself than anyone else, this is still usually the first entry point for me into our home. It's the first entry point for my family into our home. So I do want to make it a tidy space. My parents are hopefully coming over for Christmas. It will be their first time here in 2 years. It will be the first Christmas that I've spent with them in a long time. So I really want to make it extra special and comfortable, especially because they have never experienced an Ohio winter before. So that took about 15 minutes and I'm full of regret. And I can see that my neighbour is about to start mowing her grass. So I hope that's not going to be too loud over here. And there is another lady who is parked across the street. I don't know her. I don't know why she's there, but she is just staring me out. I'm sure she's just curious, like what the heck I'm doing. But yeah, full of regret. Now I have to actually go through all of the stuff. But that was the plan, part of the plan. This all needs to be cleaned out now. So but the next part, the next phase, which is not something that is normally part of my decluttering project, but that is to power wash this area. So my husband bought me a power washer for my birthday. I specifically asked for it. I was thinking he'd just get me like a little dinky one, but no, it's this big industrial one. So now I've got to put it together. Oh, there goes the lady. She's driving away. Bye-bye. Bye. So yeah, I've got to put that all together, and that's going to be phase 2 of this. Just get all of it. I've never used a power washer before, so I'm kind of excited, kind of nervous. Oh look, half my rubbish is blowing away. Okay, let's move on to the next phase. Yeah, I was expecting just a dinky little thing, you know, that I would just plug it in, attach a hose to it, and away I go. But no, this thing came in multiple parts. It was very frustrating, honestly, to put it together. It came with a quick reference guide, but all it really did was direct you to the specific page in the user manual, and the pictures, you know, with all the parts, were in a separate section to the written instructions. So I had to keep flipping back and forth. It was just unpleasant. In general, I don't know why it was so frustrating, because, you know, generally I like putting things together. IKEA furniture, for example, flat pack furniture, I can get that all together, no problem, follow the instructions, they're all really clear. But this was just incredibly frustrating for me, again, because the user manual is just not great. It was not great. This part of it was what took me the longest. It took me well over half an hour just to put this thing together. But while we're here, please enjoy the scene of me trying to start the power washer multiple times and wondering why it wasn't working. And then I had to consult the user manual, the useless user manual, before I finally figured out that I hadn't flipped the on switch. Now, in my defense, there are 3 switches that you have to click on, and I got 2 of them. You know what? 2 out of 3 ain't bad. Then I went mad with power, but in a very unsafe way. If you are power washing, wear safety goggles, folks. I didn't, because I didn't have any, and I kind of figured it was just water, you know, but there was debris flying around the place. So yeah, wear the goggles. So I had to stop for a phone call. That was bad news. And then I got another phone call afterwards. That was also more bad news. So I've come back out now to tackle the rest of this, because again, I have to. It's all sitting outside on the driveway, and the neighbours have been over asking what's going on. They think we're either moving or having a garage sale. I can't say garage sale. Like, garage sale just does not sound right, yet I don't say garage, but garage sale is the right way to say it. It's very confusing to me. Anyway, I've got to get rid of all of this stuff. I was going to continue the power washing, but it's soaking everything. Like, the closer I get, it's just getting everything soaked. So I'm going to go through it and kind of remove as much as I can from here. Scout has just come home from school and she has given me the okay to actually donate or get rid of some of this stuff. I'm going to try and power through this as quickly as I can because the day has taken a turn for the worse. Yeah. Okay, let's just power through and then power wash. Here I basically separated everything into either a trash pile, a donate pile, a pile of stuff that my husband and daughter needs to go through, and then a pile of stuff that we are going to be keeping in the garage. But I really thought at this point in time that I was going to get it all done. There didn't seem to be much left. But then my husband came out and asked if I was almost ready to go. I had completely forgotten that my daughter's soccer team was having an end of season party. So I basically had to down tools as soon as everything was separated and go get ready. Thankfully, we live in a good area because we just drove off basically and left all of our stuff in the driveway and it was still there when we got back 2 hours later. Though honestly, it would have been handy if some of it had been gone. Actually, now that it's all separated, it doesn't look like too much at all. But this is a big pile of stuff that belongs to Sam mostly. There are a handful of things in there that belong to Scout that I just want to ask her about before I get rid of it. Over here then is the stuff that I'm keeping. Most of this is like gardening or cleaning type things with some like insect repellent, weed killer, things like that. This is all staying, and this is staying to toolbox. But it's just a big heap though. I need to go through it. That's going to be for another day. I'm definitely not doing that today. This big pile here is just junk. That is going straight in the bin. And then this is stuff that I'm going to donate. Find a new home for all of this good stuff that I no longer want. It was about 7 p.m. when we got back and it was starting to get dark. So I basically just quickly finished up the power washing. I dumped the junk, I put the donations in my car, and I dragged the stuff that was staying back in. I was actually really surprised that I did get it all done in a day, especially with so many interruptions and kind of long interruptions and distractions. But it was too dark to film anything else by the time I'd finished. Okay, it's the next day. Are you ready for the big reveal? I will say, when I power washed it last night, I thought everything was spotlessly clean, and then I woke up this morning and saw it in daylight and realised I did miss a few spots. Nonetheless, I'm really happy with how this turned out, so let me show you. My brand new, beautiful garage. Let me take you inside, give you a close-up tour. Okay, this is the space that I had done in the last video. Excuse the echo in here, but that looks pretty much exactly the same, except I've just thrown her basketball in there. Up here, everything is gone except for some little boots that I wear if I'm out in the garden, so I just leave those outside that door that leads into the house. And then this is the side that I did yesterday. Ugh. So in love with it. This is basically just gardening stuff. Over here then, you know, honestly, I wish this bike rack were not here. I wish my husband had put it back here. But anyway, it's there. So I donated her old bike to my neighbour, who also took a little scooter and some books and stuff for her daughter. So that was great. It's nice to know that they're going to a good home. And then I basically just used this bottom hook for a hula hoop and just like random stuff. And then this area is looking so much better. I do kind of wish, like when we have to take out the bins, we have to move our cars. Sometimes we can get it out past the cars, but sometimes they do end up scratched or we have to move a car out completely. So I wish, and maybe it's something that we will do, I doubt it, but we might put in a little door here that leads straight to the outside so that we can just bring bins in and out and grab things from here, because this storing everything in this space makes much more sense than just having it scattered all around the garage. But anyway, 3 bins here, and I'm going to move this one out to show you what's behind. First up, we have got the power washer, kind of a handy place just to stash that. I will, there is like a little holder for this. I just haven't attached it yet, but it will look a little neater. Back here then is a box of basically kind of cleaning supplies and weed killer and insect repellent and all that fun stuff. The toolbox, which like I said, will eventually need to be tidied up and gone through. So I was going to donate this. Scout is not sure about donating it yet, so I've left it there for now. And this crate, I was going to donate that, but Sam said it might come in useful. It's like collapsible crate, so I just collapsed it down in case we ever travel with the dog. It's there anyway in case we need it, and it does like fold down pretty small, so I just slid it in there. And then this unit we will eventually like donate or sell it. But yeah, that's everything in there. So I mean, it's not like Pinterest perfect or anything, but still everything is reasonably neatly stashed in there. It's kind of chilly today, a little bit like it's bright, but it's definitely autumn chill in the air. Anyway, this project, as with so many, was not nearly as bad as I thought it was going to be. It didn't take nearly as long as I thought it was going to be. I had a lot of interruptions yesterday that kind of just made it drag on, and cleaned it all out last night in between kind of chatting to the neighbors. The power washer is so loud, the motor on it is so loud. So yeah, my neighbors really loved me last night. Thankfully, they are lovely. I mean, look, the reality is that we could always pull our 2 cars in here, but getting other things out it was awkward. And yeah, my car does have a few more scratches on it than I would like. In fact, 1 scratch is too many for me. But this is going to make everything so much easier now. Everything is so much more accessible. It's not covered in spiders and cobwebs and just general dirt and oil and stuff. It looks so much better, it looks so much fresher, and I feel better and fresher for it. It's so funny because I often get asked about, how to get motivated to do a decluttering task or anything, and I always say that you don't need motivation to tackle a task, any sort of task, not just decluttering. I mean, I am very rarely motivated to do stuff, and you'll know that at the beginning of this, when I started, I did not want to do it at all. But when I was finished, then I was motivated. Then I wanted to go and tackle other areas of my home. So you don't need motivation to start, just dive in. That will help to build motivation, that will help to carry you through, and then go on and do other jobs. Now that I have the power washer all hooked up and I know how to use it, I think that's probably a job that I'm going to be doing all over the house. Our back deck needs to be cleaned, our driveway needs to be cleaned, because I just pushed all of the dirt from the garage out onto the driveway, and now our driveway is disgusting. Our front porch needs to be cleaned. In fact, the entire house needs to be cleaned. So that's what I'll be doing probably over the next few days, just going mad with power, cleaning everything. If you like these kind of clean with me, declutter with me videos, I have a whole other playlist. It includes part 1 of this, where I tackled this side of the garage. Sorry, I'm distracted because there are a whole lot of tiny little birds out on my driveway. So cute. I will have that linked for you, and until next time, I am off to power wash everything inside. Gura Mila Mahagwev. I have to step back because my neighbour across the way realised she was looking over trying to figure out what I was doing. The embarrassment.